Also, breaking news we're following this morning. A person in the hospital after an overnight cutting incident. Officers called the 30th and Burt right before 12:30 this morning. Our photographer who was at the scene spoke to an officer that reports that police found a man who had been cut. County officials say the victim's injuries are not considered to be serious. We'll be sure to update you on that breaking news as soon as we learn more information.